course, telling her no or whatever. And that really upset her. Welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, I am essentially going to be showing you guys what a work day looks like for me. I am a full-time reseller here in Dallas, Texas, and I've been doing this, I want to say about 4 years this month actually, which is kind of crazy when I think about it. Actually, yes, it's been 4 years. That's insane. But yeah, anyways, I'm just taking my vitamins and just trying to get all the morning stuff in order before I actually start my work day, because my work day usually starts around 6 a.m. and I've been noticing that I've been finishing around like 4 to 6 p.m. depending on how long my gym workout sesh is. But here I am editing a YouTube video. I actually try to do all my editing early in the morning as soon as I wake up, because that is when I am kind of pretty much at the best point of alertness. All right, y'all. So I just got done putting on my clothes. It is currently 8:09. I was not able to completely finish this video, which is okay because the video is only 19 minutes. But I spent most of the time getting the ad part of the video together. Put myself on like a time crunch because there's a few things that I needed to get done today, which is of course pull and package my sales. We're gonna do that right after I print all the labels, and then we're gonna go drop those off, of course. Then I need to go to the Goodwill outlet and I need to source for new inventory to list today. I wanted to do laundry. I wanted to do my business laundry and my personal laundry, so that needs to get done today. And I think that's it. Oh, I did want to work on putting some items in boxes, but I don't think that's going to happen because going to the thrift store or going to the bins definitely takes a huge chunk of my day. So that's the only thing, you know. I don't know what happened to eBay yesterday, but it really just kind of like popped off, which we love. Definitely not complaining because you already know how, you know, summer slowdown is. But yesterday was a really good sales day for me. I definitely got over $300 worth of sales. And for me, my rule of thumb is that I just want to make $200 in sales a day. Now, I only work 4 days a week, so I'm still able to make sales on the days that I don't list. That's why I do think that whole little feed the algorithm every single day is so bogus. Because I have not listed Friday, Saturday, or Sunday in over 2 years now, and I still make sales on the weekend. So I don't know. It's really your preference. You just have to figure out something that works for you. And yeah, but of course on my Poshmark, they relist every single day. And then I try to, you know, sell similar on eBay if I wake up early enough to be able to do so, because it kind of goes off of the time that it was relisted. So right now I have 29 items. So yeah, just go in and just end them. I wouldn't recommend this for everybody, but I've been doing this for over 2 years now, and I find that it works. A lot of my items that did not sell, I am able to sell similar, and then typically 1 or 2 sales within a few days. So, and of course I go in and I like to drop the price, depending on what it is, how long it kind of sat, if it got any attention or not. And I just kind of go from there. And since I'm a volume-based seller, you know, I need to make them a lot quicker so I can, you know, see a quicker return on my investment. Even though I do operate on the low cost of goods spectrum, I know that, you know, not a lot of people are able to go to a Goodwill outlet, but I love the Goodwill outlet. Honestly, I need to make a trip to go to a different one because we do have 2 here in Dallas. That one is just pretty far. That one's like 45 minutes away from me. And the one that I currently go to now is like 25 minutes away. Something that I also did on Mercari yesterday was I sent out 30% off bulk offers, and it worked. I think I got 4 sales. 3 of them were from me sending out the bulk offers. One of them was just a random offer on an item that I've had for a little while. So I, of course, accepted their offer. I used to have like a method on selling, my items, or I'd say I do a lot better selling my items on, Mercari, because I know a lot of people have like problems selling items over there, but I have worked out a method when they did not take any seller fees. And what I did was, so if I had an item listed for 32 on Posh, in my mind, I know that 20 to 25 is going to be my lowest on that item. So when I would get to cross-listing it to Mercari, I would drop it down to about $25 because I know that they're going to send me a $20 offer, and I would have accepted that. So I would just price my items right above the 20% of what my lowest is. And that would actually help me get a lot of traction and to make a decent amount of sales. Now, I wasn't making hundreds of sales. I was making about 30 to 40 a month with that method. And it really worked out because Mercari really works off of offers. So if you want to sell an item for, let's say, $30, because you know that after fees and cost of goods and everything, you're only going to net about $20. It'll be in your best interest to price it at about $38 because you want to get it as close as possible to your bottom line. And 38 would also attract people that know that, 38 on that item is also going to be really good. So I feel like it's a mind game. All of these platforms are mind games. The way that I have it on my eBay is I lock all of my prices, so I don't let anybody send me any offers, and then I just price it low. And with me pricing it low on eBay kind of gives them like, hey, this is actually a really good deal, let me go ahead and buy this, instead of me thinking like, oh, I can get $5 more off. Now, of course, some people do, ask me, hey, could you go lower? And depending on how long that item has been sitting, I will. Sometimes I won't, but it just kind of depends.
What we do here is go back.
Okay, so I am done looking for everything. I did have to stop because I needed to verify that this item is the correct one because it looks eerily similar to another item that I have. So I had to just look at both and just look at the photos again just to make sure I wasn't going to be shipping them out the wrong item because, as y'all know, I've been making a lot of mistakes. And then I misplaced one of the tops, the men's tops. Since it was two of them, I had them mismatched. So the one that it was supposed to be under was the other one. So yeah, so I had to look for that one. And then on top of that, I don't have an item that is supposed to be listed. Now, what is throwing me off is that it wasn't in my system, but it was on all of the platforms. So I'm assuming that maybe I delisted it and sold it to a buy sell trade store, which is unfortunate because how did it slip through the cracks like that? But that's okay. We are here. And I have a few sales going out. So typically, I feel like when summer slowdown comes for me in my business, I'm typically averaging about maybe 3 to 5 sales a day. And a year ago, it was very scary because I was picking up a lot of like $15 items, stuff that was selling for $12 in that nature. So it looked a little different. Something that I have been noticing, and I don't think I was doing it intentionally, but I do sell a lot of like $25 to $30 items a lot of the time. And of course, $20, $22 and all that. And then when I'm running sales on eBay, I will sell things for like $17, $18 as well. So I feel like The difference from last summer and what it's going to be from this summer is that my ASP have went up a little bit. So that also helps. But still, back to what I was saying, like summer slowdown, it does affect my business. And the way that I was combating it was by going up on my listings. Now, me going up 3 listings 4 days a week, which is just 12 items. I wasn't doing that because I wanted to make more sales. I was only doing that so I wouldn't lose the type of sales that I typically get in those 4 days, So yeah, I know if I doubled my listings, then maybe, if I listed 30 instead of the 15, I definitely would probably go up on how many sales I get per day, but I'm not trying to burn myself out. I had already declared that this summer I was just going to be outside having fun and living life, and then, do any type of like miscellaneous tasks that I needed to do in my business in order to kind of like have a good workflow, versus me stressed out about, oh, I'm not making sales. But this is just a perfect time to just like, tweak your business, clean things up, organize things, and all the things. I do have a task list and sales that I plan on running next month, because July historically for the past 3 years since I've been paying attention and when I look at my books is the worst month of the whole year for me. So yeah, I'm prepared for it to decline. That's why I started to bump up my listings in June. So then by the time we get into July, it could kind of, balance out, maybe go down just slightly, but not as much as it typically does. But yeah, anyways, so the first item is this Ellen Tracy women's like linen pop over top. This is not a brand I would suggest you picking up unless you want it to sit a while. I do price this pretty low for the most part. I do try to pick up items that will flip for, $20 to $30. That's pretty much my going point, because I know that when people do volume sales, they typically are trying to make like, $600, specifically the eBay people. Cause I watched a lot of eBay people where they're like, oh, I want to make $600 a day. And they not only burn themselves out, but when they say $600 a day, they mean $600 a day on eBay. So anytime an eBay seller tells you like, hey, I made, I don't know, $600 a day, automatically take like 35% out because they're including the shipping. And I just personally feel like that is misleading, so you didn't make $600 a day. That's 30% of that is shipping. But I digress. So I am pretty reasonable with what I want to make. I want to make $200 a day, and that's going to be on the sale price items. I don't include the shipping and all of the extra stuff that eBay provides. I just take it from, this item sold for $25, this item sold for $25. I'm not going to say, well, only in the buyer paid $38 and I'm going to use that as my numbers. Absolutely not. $25 is the number. But anyways, the next one is from a viewer. So, hey girl, hey. This is actually just a cloth and stone women's button down top. I actually got this from Patsy at the bin. So when I'm at the Goodwill outlet, Patsy usually goes over her items, and she decides, of course, on what she wants to take and what she doesn't. And she gives me the option to choose between the items that she doesn't want. And I usually take about 80% of those items. And this was one of them. This one sold fairly quickly, and it was through a viewer. They actually messaged me. And so if y'all are new here, you don't know. So I just started playing with these like bulk offers on Mercari because they allow you to send like bulk offers. So I sent bulk offers, and I realized that it wasn't doing like a waterfall method. So like if I've already sent somebody a 20% off offer, and then when I decide to send another 20% off offer, I'm assuming since I've already sent them the offer, it's not going to send them the same offer, but it was sending them the same offer. So I would go in and try to block people because I didn't want them to, be upset that I'm sending them the exact same offer. So anyways, I said all that to say that they said, hey, don't block me. So I just thought that was pretty funny. All right, this next one is from a brand called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂. I recently picked up a dress from this brand. I don't know. But yeah, the tag looked like it's worth something. So that's the only reason why I kind of like, want to pick it up. But this one did take quite a while to sell. And I knew that it took a while to sell because it's in that cellophane plastic, which I got last summer. And I believe I switched over to the quiet one earlier this year. So yeah, I've definitely had that one for a while. All right, the next one is this women's Guess dress. This one was really, really, really cute, and it was like a Y2K moment, so I couldn't help myself, so I of course picked it up. And this one did take a little while to sell. This one also is in this cellophane packaging, so I've had this one for a while, and it finally sold. This is like a clubbing dress, really. I probably should have put that in the title to help sell it, but clearly I didn't. Something is in my eye. Ooh. Okay, the next one, I actually just listed this maybe like 3 or 4 days ago. It is a J. Crew women's like teddy sweater. This is one of those things where you should always look into it when it comes to J. Crew when they have a style name on the label, because clearly it must be like a little popular or something. But this one did sell pretty quickly. So I love like those less than a week turnarounds. It makes the business, you know, keep flowing. The next one is actually this women's Talbot's pants. I also recently sourced these probably like maybe 3 weeks ago. This is probably the fastest that a Talbot's item has ever flipped. So this was a pretty good turnaround too. This one was a plus size and it was linen. So that was really the only reason why I decided to pick it up. I love picking up linen. It is definitely about to slow down. But for me, I pick it up, and depending on the brand and the size and all of that, I will take it home. But I don't pick up every single thing that is linen based just because I don't want to sit on it. Because some stuff just doesn't sell regardless of the fabric, the size, and all of that. So it's just best to kind of stay on top of it when it comes to that. All right, the next one is this JCPenney sleep dress. Well, it's not really a sleep dress. I did market it as a sleep dress, but y'all know the girls are wearing maxi dresses outside, so I do pick these up when I see them. They have been like a really good like bolo in my business, so I like to pick up the maxi like slip dresses. But this one did sell on Depop. She sent me an offer. What am I looking for? Yeah, she sent me an offer. And I quickly messaged her and I was like, hey, if you can get this paid for today, I'll have it shipped out tomorrow morning. She paid within like maybe 5 minutes of me sending that message. So that message does work. I want to say about 50% of the time. But I was really happy that she went on and purchased it because my Depop has been extremely slow. Oh, the next one is this Marigo sleep set. I picked up 2 of these, I want to say like over the summer. The label looked like it was worth looking into, so I went on and looked into it, and it was actually a really good brand. So if you find it, definitely pick it up. However, this one sold over, what, 7-8 months ago, and then it was sitting back. It was, well, I had to refund them because it had undisclosed flaws, which I didn't even notice because it was on the waistband, so definitely my fault. So I just went on and relisted it, and I dropped the price significantly. This person did come in and send me a $18 offer. I thought that was reasonable, so I went on and accepted it. This one is going to be the highlighted sale for my little shipping portion of this video. This is a brand called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕂. I don't know. So I picked this one up, and honestly, the colorway looked really nice, but I looked at the tag, and the tag just looked like it was expensive, okay? So I went on and did very quick research, and I had noticed that somebody sold a shirt for like $175. So then I was just like, okay, that actually is not bad. So I know for me, when I see stuff like that, I know that I'm definitely for sure going to be able to flip mine for like, you know, $70 to $100. So I went on and listed it a little bit over $100. And like I told y'all before, I sent out 30% off offers on Mercari. And that's like also like another thing that I've noticed that I'm doing differently this year too versus last year is I am much more aggressive and on top of it when it comes to trying to, stimulate my business to make sure that everything keeps flowing, just because I feel like if I don't, then there's going to be a problem. I kind of don't want to take these out the bag because they are men items, so I'm going to leave these in the bag. But yeah, so last year I wasn't proactive when it came to just trying to continue to make sales while it was slow. I just sat around and, let my bot send offers, and I was not sending out aggressive offers. I wasn't really doing much. I just was sitting down and taking summer slowdown. I just let it have its way with me, but not this year. Because at the end of the day, I still, want to get rid of these items. So it's not like I just want to keep holding on to them, because a lot of the times if you hold on to items past the seasonality point, they're most likely not going to sell, and you're going to be waiting a whole nother, 3 to 4 seasons to finally get it to sell. So it's better to just get rid of it while you can. All right, so this last one that I need to wrap, this is going to be hard. Oh, it's on Poshmark, thank God. So I'm going to put it in a box. This is a brand called Surrey. Now, I have been having a lot of luck selling men's robes, but I went and looked up this brand, and I had noticed that it was listed on Poshmark for, I want to say not Poshmark, on eBay for like $30. I want to say somewhere around that, probably $40. And then I noticed that it had a lot of watchers on it. So that also adds, to it. Man, this is going to be so difficult unless I put it in there. I mean, I can put it in the poly bag, but it's going to have to be naked. I kind of don't be thinking about this when it's time for me to, I'm not going to be able to wrap it because then it's going to take up too much space. Anyways, so then I went on and priced mine at a reasonable price point, because that let me know like it does have, some type of motion to it when you see a lot of likers on stuff. So a lot of the times it could be the price point as to why it's not selling. So when I do check comps, a lot of the times when I'm at the bins and I see, that the item, there's items for that brand, but they aren't like selling. But then I will go and check the items that are currently listed and see if they have like watchers and stuff. And then it kind of lets me know like, okay, maybe it was the price point. Maybe theirs is flawed or damaged, or just it's something else wrong with it. So when I decide to go ahead and take it home, I will in fact just lower my price. And yeah, so that's pretty much like a method that I like to do. I'm definitely going to have to get at least like the 19 by 24 bags, because wow. So every time I come to the post office, I like to drop all of my packages off inside this little drop box. I'll be honest, I stopped scanning them in a long time ago. I haven't had any issues, so let's just pray about that. Do you guys actually use this, or do you go inside? All right, so we've made it to the Goodwill outlet here in Dallas, Texas. This is actually my favorite location to come to. There is another one that we do have, but I just don't like that one. It's much smaller than this one. This one is a pretty big location, and I feel like I find more treasures here than I do there, so I prioritize this one instead of the other one. But I'm just digging in the bins. I want to say like for the very first hour, I was having such a rough time. But of course I just kept going, because you already know how it is. You have to find your treasures, and you only can do that if you dig. Now this next piece is from J. Jill. I had to look up this size specifically. It was a linen piece, but you already know how oversaturated some brands are, so I wanted to check the comps, and the sell-through rate was really bad, so I ended up leaving that one behind. And this was such a cute little sweater. It was kind of from a cheapy brand. I thought this was also really cute, but you already know it's too basic to sell, so I left that one there. This is my little pile. This is the stuff that I'm taking for myself, and then I have the pile of stuff that we are going to go through, which are the items that I am not taking with me. This is Roller Rabbit. I wanted to take this so bad, but then I saw all of the flaws And I just didn't think that it was worth the grab, so I went on and left that one behind. This was going to be a style-based piece. It was a cute little skirt, but for some reason it just wasn't doing it for me, and it had a tiny little flaw, so with that I just ended up leaving that one behind. This one was a blazer from who? Oh, Hugo Boss. This brand sits a while. The sell-through rate was really bad, and that's the reason why I did not take that one. But yeah, these are a pair of jeans from Levi's. I looked up this exact size and style, and the sell-through rate was so bad, so I just said, of course, I'm leaving that. This is a decent brand, but I feel like this is not really a substantial piece, so I did decide to leave that one behind. I'm kind of upset I left this because I just sold the other dress, so I really should have took that because that would have been a good sell. This is Under Armour. For some reason, I thought their rash guards would have been performing well, but they weren't, so I left it. This used to be a great brand. I thought this was going to work for New Year's Eve, but I decided to leave that one behind. This is Lululemon. I sold this exact item before, but it was like 2 years ago, so I decided to leave this one behind as well because I just don't think that it's going to warrant even $20. So yeah, and these are some kid brands. They are not substantial at all, and they just wouldn't sell good on their own, so I decided to leave them behind. But definitely some great brands, and you can find them in really good pieces. This is a Ivivva little one piece. This is a sub brand of Lululemon that they no longer make. I left that behind. This was a shacket. The comps were terrible, so of course I left that one behind. And this is just me digging. I like to pretty much touch everything. I do start with my eyes first and then my hands, but yeah, this day wasn't terrible. You already know I'm gonna give you guys a haul shortly. Something funny happened to me while I was at the checkout, so I will also be discussing that, which I find kind of funny because it's like every single time I come here, something is always happening. Okay, y'all, I feel like I'm always having the funniest interactions. So I'm waiting in the line to leave, and a lady behind me, she's talking to me, so I take my headphones out, and she said, oh, I only have one item, can I go before you? And I said, no. I said, I have a cart, so I'm just gonna sit my cart on top of there and she's gonna check me out. So it's no different if you have one item and I have one little, you know, not my cart, but y'all know my Hogan. Like, it's not a grocery store. Now, if we were in a grocery store and I had, you know, 15 items and she only had one, then yeah, it would make sense for me to let her jump in front of me. But no, it didn't make any sense. So I told her no. I said, it's the same as my one cart. I'm just going to sit my cart on there the same way you're going to sit your one shirt on there. So then after I told her no, and I said, it's the same thing, and then I put my headphones back on. Now, my headphones weren't blasting today because for some reason, within like 20, 30 minutes, I was just getting agitated and I was ready to go. So I end up, oh, wait, I need to get the wiper blades changed. But I ended up, you know, of course, telling her no or whatever, and that really upset her. So she threw the t-shirt and she walked out. Like, girl, calm down. I thought it was funny because she was a grown-ass woman. Like, how old are you? Are you 5? Throwing a tantrum because you gotta wait one extra 20 seconds? Like, come on. I was already annoyed with myself because what ended up happening, y'all, is I went to go and check how many, I do not know why it just randomly started raining, but I went to go and check how many items I had. I wanted to see, you know, how much pounds I had, and I only had 20. So then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could just stay for 5 more. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, wait, my Hulkin weighs 4 pounds. So that means that I would have to stay for 9 more pounds. And if it took me 2 hours just to get 16 pounds, like, it would just be too much. You know what I mean? For me to stay, I would have to stay like an additional hour, an additional hour and a half or so just to try to get that because I'm being extremely picky. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just go. And as soon as I went back in there, because I left and I was picking through, and I'm like, no, it's just not going to make any sense. I'm going to be here too long. So I ended up heading back, and it was like 6 t-shirt bros ahead of me. So then I was like really annoyed because I should have just stayed where I was at. You did all that for what? That's so crazy. What is that? But yeah, so I ended up doing that. So I ended up having to wait. She was angry, y'all. She threw that damn t-shirt and then she was like, thank you. And me being the person that I am, I completely ignored her. I act like I ain't even hear nothing she said. After I told her, oh, it's gonna be the same, and I put my headphones back on, decided to stop and come to Thrift Town because I ended up driving past the highway. So I would just figure, since I was on my way past this point, I should just stop in. Okay, so y'all should already know when I'm sitting down on this floor, just like this, it's time for a haul. So these are all of the items that I picked up today at the outlet. I was actually really happy with my finds. So I ended up, typically I only stay at the bins for 2 hours just because that's pretty much the amount of time that my body is okay with staying there. Now, there are some days where I can go over the 2-hour mark, but that's only when it's just like an amazing day, you know, and that's very rare. Maybe once a month if I'm lucky. But today I was trying to stay over so I could kind of work ahead. So I was gonna leave this one behind. This is a Disney little mini skirt. It's called the Dress Shop, which I'm assuming is at Disney. But I picked this one up and I specifically, you know, looked up this item and I saw one had sold for $30 and then another one was listed for $65, and that was the only one. It had 11 watchers on it. So I decided to go ahead and get it, and I'm just gonna list mine between that $30 to $40 range and kind of see where it takes me. Anyways, this is Wonderly. I wouldn't say go ahead and pick up every single thing from this brand, but this was a really nice piece. It has like this embroidery to it. It's like a cottagecore peasant mini dress, and it's an extra large, and I have 100% sell-through rate with that brand, so I pick it up when I see it. This is actually for my son. It's just a little hat. Like I said, he's going out of town with his dad, so I just need to get him a hat because he is getting so dark, y'all. Like nothing is wrong with being dark, okay? We love getting a good old tan in the summertime, but my baby, he has been outside. We've been going swimming every single weekend, so he is getting darker and darker, and I've been putting sunscreen on him, but child, yeah, he almost looks like a whole new baby. But anyways, this one is a cute little slip dress. Now, the problem with this one is when I looked up the care tag, it is from Urban Outfitters. So I don't know if this is Free People in some way because it does have an OB number, but it is 66170 for the RN, which we all know that is, you know, Urban Outfitters. This is Roller Rabbit. This is actually a great brand. Y'all actually seen me put back another item from this brand, and I was so sad because I really wanted to take it. But this is just a pajama top. For some reason, this brand, pajamas specifically, they perform really, really well. Unfortunately, I could not find the bottoms, and I was looking too, y'all, but I couldn't find them. I was able to find a matching set from the same brand. It's Roller Rabbit again. This one is a kids set. It feels like it's damn near brand new, but these are the pajama pants. These have elephants on it, and then this is the pajama top. So yeah, y'all can tell when it's been like worn a lot, especially when it's, you know, kids clothes, because the cuffs will have a lot of like dirt and grime on it. So this one does not. This is the Nines by Hatch, which is a pregnancy brand, and this is their sub line, the Nines. And this is just a cute little cottagecore prairie moment. And if you guys are not familiar, this is, like I just said, a maternity brand, so they make clothes for the pregnant mamas out there. All right, this is a J. Crew cashmere piece. It is a size large, and it's just a button-up, you know, cardigan. All right, this is Maeve by 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕂. It is an extra small, but I did pick this one up because it is a button down and it is linen, and it's in this really pretty Kelly green colorway. This next one is another J. Crew piece. This one is from 2023, so this is fairly new, and it's just their extra soft sweater. This one is a size large. Find a lot of luck selling those. Y'all see I just sold J. Crew sweater this morning. This is Eileen Fisher, size medium. This one is a cute little linen chore midi skirt. This is, 55% hemp and 45% organic cotton. All right, this one is Bowden, but this is like a jersey knit, like midi dress. It does have like this empire style waistline, super cute colorway. And like I said, it's jersey knit. This one is actually a size 12. So that, I think that is gonna help it sell because it is a larger size. I feel like most Bowden pieces that I picked up are a size 0 to 4, so that's my fault. This one is another Bowden piece. This is a size 10, and this one is a jersey knit wrap dress. Well, not wrap dress, but a tie waist dress. And this one also has like that empire waist, baby doll style. This one, I was so happy because I found the bottoms first, and some of these kids brands, like, they just have really good quality, so you could just kind of spot it. But this brand is called Quincy May. This is like a cute little dress, and it has the cute little bloomers that go with it. So we'll see. Hopefully it performs well. Otherwise, that would have been a terrible pickup on my behalf. All right, this is Natural Life. Now this one is dirty, so I do need to wash it. But this one is one size, and it's just like this super oversized, or it could be regular size, depending on how small or large you are. But it's just a cute little blouse. This one is Casper, which honestly, the brand doesn't matter. But this one is 100% linen, and it's just like this really pretty, like, baby doll empire waist style linen top. It is striped. Anyways, this is Life is Good. I wouldn't suggest you picking this up. I think you should look at exactly what is on here, and then, you know, of course, go on eBay, type in the size, and get your numbers crunched there. But this one is going to sell for about $18 to $20. That one is an extra large, so definitely helps that sell. This is LL Bean, definitely a bread and butter for me. This one is a linen button-down shirt. The size tag is cut off, so I'll have to do measurements. But if I'm just going off of looks, it's got to be like a large or a extra large. This is a Y2K bolo specifically, but this one is a little cami top, and it is from Hollister, size large, which is even better. This one, I was like, this looked like it might be something. I see that the tag was pulled, and it is Viore. Anyways, this is Aerie, size extra, extra large, and it's new with tags. And this is just like a cute little pop over Henley sweater. All right, this is a really good brand to look out for. Kite Baby. It is a kids wear brand, but this is like one of those little sleep sacks. I didn't check the comps on it because I've sold this before and it has flipped quickly, so I didn't even bother. I'm going to be honest, I would have kept this for my son, but it's going to be too small for him. My son is really tall for his age. So this is Little Sleepies, which is a great little kids wear brand again, but this is an 18 to 24. And this one has like tacos and avocados on it, and it's just like a sleeper. This is Walk Whole. Now this is a cute little lacy bra. Walk Whole is actually a really great brand. I believe I had talked about it in another video that I had a bra from this brand, so I see the hype. However, it's very important to check the size with the brand and put it into eBay just so you can get like the sell-through rate. So this one was a little bit over, probably around 60% sell-through rate. So maybe a little bit more, I'll be honest, because the numbers were a little skewed. Anyways, so yeah, it's about 60% sell-through rate, which works for me in my business model. I try to pick up items that I want to sell that are going to sell for 50% or over. There are items that I'm sure do have a 50% sell-through rate, but I don't want to pick it up, so I don't. This is We the Free, looks like a newer style, and this is just like a basic little t-shirt with the mock neck. That's going to be a good piece that somebody can come into my closet and bundle with some other items. All right, this one is a style-based pickup, but it's from the brand called Venus. Has like this micro mesh at the top with a little bit of like crochet to it. And then it is a cute little moment. It's like a jersey knit too, but with the flare sleeve. So I do plan on plugging in keywords to sell that one. And then I bought some beach towels. So yeah, like I said, I've been at the pool a lot with my baby, so we needed some beach towels. I'm not bringing my regular towels down there. So what time is it? Okay, so I got about 20 minutes. I actually need to plug all of these into my inventory system, and then that way I can get what I got per piece. So I do import everything in line by line. I divide how much I paid in total with how many pieces that I got, and then it'll get me that number. Now I am one of those people that even if it's a set, I still divide it up. So let's say I spent $40 today and I have 20 pieces, and then 2 of them are sets, and then I got what, 4 of these items, well actually 5 items, so then that's what, 7 more. I would just add that on to the count, so then that way my cost of goods can get as low as it possibly can. I've been noticing lately, this week specifically, that my cost of goods are bumping up to like $1.60 minimum, when it used to be like $1.40, $1.20. I stayed around that for a while. So it's so disappointing because I find so many items inside the bins where I'm just like, oh, this would be great to sell to a buy sell trade store, but it just doesn't warrant the return that I would need. When I used to have inventory where I would pay, 75 cents for it, this was over a year ago. I felt like it made sense for me to be a person that put that in my business where I'm going to sell to a buy sell trade store every time a new season comes, because I would be able to like triple my money. But now if I'm spending $1.60 for it, I'm selling it to them. They give me, roughly about $2.50 per piece. I'm not really making a huge profit. I mean, $1 profit on the item is, it's not bad, but I would have to bring in so much. I would also have to do volume doing that. And then I would have to hope that they take the items, because if they don't take the items, then I got to list it and try to sell it. So yeah, I completely got that out, but I still will, utilize giving them my old inventory. Like I was trying to tell y'all before, I just got done importing all of these, and I was really trying to get to the gym that my apartment has, at least by 2, but I'm not going to make that time frame, which is okay. It's never that serious, but I just wanted to hang these up to just kind of get them pre-prepped. Honestly, I thought I was going to have enough time to, at least like prep them, which is just me, lint rolling it, steaming it, photographing it, all the things. When I was able to just steam and prep the items, that takes about 15-20 minutes, and then photographing takes about 45 minutes. So I'm looking at an hour tops collectively for that, and then it's about 2.5 hours for me to actually list the items. So this portion of my work day is like the most tedious, if I'm being honest. Like I told y'all before, photographing is literally the worst part of it, but that's okay. We got to do it to make the money. I did make 2 sales while I was out. Not the best, but one of them was a Depop sale. I did the old little razzle dazzle of telling them, hey, if you can get this paid for soon, I get it shipped out. But she sent me an offer like at 6 in the morning. So I told her that, hey, if you can get this paid for within 2 hours, I'll be able to get it out today. And I say that because it really does give them a sense of urgency, because on Depop, people are known for not shipping out, within a timely manner. Because before, I believe it used to be 7 days to ship, but I think now it's 5 days to ship. So if you can, get them to understand like, hey, I'll get this out as soon as you pay for it, a lot of them are like super excited, and then it can kind of push that impulse buy, because a lot of them are just sending offers for fun. They have no intentions of actually buying it, but if you give them an incentive, maybe it'll kind of like push them over the edge, So that was the goal, and it actually worked because she purchased it. Unfortunately, she didn't purchase it before I left the house. I was already at the bins, so it's not going to be going out until tomorrow. But I did give her a time frame. I said if you buy it within 2 hours, but she bought it within like, 2.5 to 3 hours. So it's not going to go out tomorrow. I'm happy I got the sale. And then I got another one on Poshmark. It was just a tiny bit under what I would have liked, but it wasn't terrible. So I went on and accepted it because it's no need to fight over $2.
You know what I mean? Like, especially when it doesn't get much attention on other platforms. I think everything should be considered. I feel like when it comes to countering or accepting offers, consider how long you've had it. Consider, if it gets attention on other platforms, have you sent out offers on it on other platforms or that platform and people still didn't buy it? And then consider the price point that they actually sent you, because if your lowest is 20 and they send you 18, and if it's an item that doesn't get any attention, then just don't, accept the offer. In my case, it was an item that I went to go look on the other platforms, and I noticed that it doesn't get any attention, has no watchers, it has views, but it has no motion on it. So then it's no point in me holding on to it. So I let it go. And yeah. So it's important to do, but I know that everybody can't be that way. I am a volume seller, like I told y'all before, so I can be extremely flexible when it comes to stuff like that. Okay, so these are all of the items that, well, I think I can hang the bra up actually. I typically take the bras photos either hanging up or on the floor, but this one looks like it can be hung up. It really depends on if I have hangers, but since I do have hangers, it's, good to go ahead and do that. All right, so that is done. So this Hulken, this little one, this is the very first Hulken that I ever purchased, and I remember getting it when I was pregnant because at the time I'm like, I can't keep toting around all of these tote bags while I was at the bins. So I got this, and it used to work perfectly because I never used to get this many items. Because I think I only used to source like 10 items. So I would bring the Hulken and then another bag, and it worked perfectly. And then eventually, as time went on, I started to kind of build a structure in my business, and I needed something bigger. But anyways, I was just telling y'all because I keep all of the items that still need to be processed in here, but I have to sit down and take them. So this past week, I ended up going through it and pulling all of the items that needed to be photographed on the ground. This is like the worst part. I said the photographer was, but this part is like my second least favorite task, because I hate having to sit on the floor because my back hurts and all of that. So I do let it accumulate before I photograph, but I'll try to make sure I do it a lot sooner. But I typically would keep it over here, but it just felt like it was a little cluttered. So then I moved it into the bathroom because this is like my storage area, which seems a little unsanitary, but I don't think it is. It's just a bathroom. And then when I do have family come over, I just push this like bin inside the closet and then close the closet. So then it just looks like a regular bathroom. They do have to walk through here, but it's fine after that. But yeah, I use it just as a storage spot. These are all the items that I need to hang on hangers. I photographed all of these yesterday, so I gotta hang them up. There's quite a few tasks I need to do. And then this Hulken, I just keep it over there. So I think I had told y'all before, but the silver Hulken, I keep that one there, and I just put all of the items that I photograph, and then I, package it, and then I just store it there. So then on Monday morning, I pull it out, and then I will put everything into their designated boxes. And then this Hulken is my shipping and then sourcing Hulken, and then I just put it right back, and then we just kind of cycle it up. I'm about to go ahead and change and head down to the gym, and just get my little 30 minutes of a workout in.